I will say this much, let's face it, angry reviewing has been done to death. And unfortunately, the forefather of it, basically, you know, James Rolfe, angry video game nerd, he kind of drove it into the ground at this point. It's been done to death on his own watch. And unfortunately, because he never decided, yeah, maybe I should try something else, other people just kept doing the same thing, including me. And it's only until you, like, really, yeah, it peaked in 2009, and then once it hit its peak, it just, nobody could come up with anything new. Everybody was doing the same shit. Everybody was getting fed up with that shit. It became a mess. Like a fucking disaster area. It's like a joke. I'll give you an example. It's like a racist joke. You know, you could tell it at a party or something, when people are drinking, or with friends or something like that. But there's audiences where you'll be in certain audiences where you can't tell that joke. They will not find it funny, they will find it offensive, and they won't laugh. And at the same time, it's like, is it funny to begin with? Not really. There's a point where you can, like, you'll laugh at it, but are you really laughing at the joke, or are you laughing at how insecure it made everybody feel in that dead silence that follows before somebody laughs to break it? It's more like that. And if you watch any number of these reviews out there now, they have hit a point where it's so formulaic, it pretty much is like a movie genre. It's like a horror movie. It's so fucking predictable. And the only times it's entertaining in a slight way is when it's unpredictable. And I'm sorry to say this, but I have not seen a single video that was unpredictable in the longest time. They all follow the same formula. And it's formulaic, and honest to God, it bores the living crap out of me. It's like everybody wants to know, why do you keep recommending Two Best Friends? Because it's actually entertaining. There's really no script. There's no pausing to retake scenes for the most part. It's just two guys talking about video games and playing, and going right off the top of their head with improv comedy. Which works. Because it's not predictable. There's certain things, don't get me wrong, there are certain traits and elements that always come back. But that's called chemistry between the two. I know I'm going to get made fun of for this, because somebody else said, well, that's what you call chemistry. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm saying here is, it's not even chemistry between people on the screen. It's chemistry between how these things function. You could do the same fucking thing over and over and over again. The trick is to make it funny if you're going to continue to do it. Not to do it the same way over and over and over again with the same sort of return. You can't do that. It gets old so fast. Well, wasn't his thing Dylan Dog where he said that's called chemistry? It was some really crappy movie, which I know I watched afterwards, and I was horrified to hear that he had said that about that fucking movie. Dylan Dog Dead of Night was fucking horrible. It could have been great. It could have been like a campy, stupid ass movie, but it was just fucking terrible. There's no chemistry in that movie. But, you know, in terms of like the whole concept of it just blows my mind. And I've said before, and I told Andrew knows I've said this, and other people know I've said this as well. I believe that if you have an audience that watches your work, if they're actually involved and they keep up with it and shit, you shouldn't just hand them out like whatever, you know? Don't just throw cards on the fucking table and tell them to look at them. Surprise them. Give them something. Entertain them. Don't just do it because, you know, they're there. Because what's the point then? There is no fucking point. Then it becomes like a boring-ass day job. And that's my ultimate guess as to why all these reviewing things just went... And now the only fun thing to watch is random people playing video games and with just random-ass cuts of their dialogue.